Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Don't hold them for an hour or whatever.
Well,
And just do a segment and that's it.
well, we can let them decide how long they want to be, because we need the exposure, and they probably do too. But they can only be on there like maybe once a month or something like that, or whatever. We got an opening and stuff for it, so depending on who wanted it. Well, let's see what the heck happens. The idea to put it out there and everything is okay. So
Yeah, it's a
we're
good
gonna
idea.
we're gonna put an invite out there for some of these black newspapers and stuff around the country. So anyway, what's up, man? You kind of late today, man. We're gonna have to catch up. We're gonna have to catch up. We'll see what's going on. What you got? What you got, man? I I was really impressed, man, with a couple of these publications out there in the wilderness, especially this Tulsa Eagle. They have a lot of ads and stuff and up on that paper, and they have a lot of relevant things that they're having and stuff with their newspaper. And it seems like somebody's taking some interest and stuff in doing it. This Omaha uh, Star, uh, they are real small. You can tell they're a really small newspaper and stuff and everything, and they're really up and stuff on trying to get subscribers and stuff and everything to subscribe to their newspaper. But their online presence, man, this needs a lot of work. But being in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of us folks around there. Hey, oh, and I noticed that a couple of them, the Denver News and the newspaper there in Omaha and the newspaper in Tulsa and stuff, they had the results and stuff of the election that happened in that state on their newspaper. And Colorado, Denver, Colorado paper and stuff and everything is very interesting and stuff. They talked about some of the state was still blue, and that there were some Republicans and stuff who got on that Lauren Boebert or whatever her name is and stuff and everything. She got redistricted and stuff into another district and everything, and she won, and the one that she was forced into and everything through redistricting, and she won her an election to go back, and they had another Republican who won in her district and stuff and everything that she had just left. But mostly they said the Democrats did very well there in Denver, in Colorado. So
Yeah, Denver is a Democrat state.
yeah,
So I'm telling you though, man, you know, it's so many people that's supposed to be Democrat or what they call left, and they're coming against the Democratic Party because they didn't deliver. But most of those people were talking about them and didn't even vote for them, or they dogged them so much that they just turned people off. You know, and they got their own airways like we do. You know, they got YouTube, they got podcasts, they got all kind of mechanisms, and they go on other people's shows. And the thing is that I think they're missing the boat of what the Democrats are trying to do. This is just my own opinion. This is what I think. The Democrats is for democracy. The Democrats is for freedom. The Democrats are for freedom. They don't want to dictate to you, and they're for justice. They are for the Constitution. Now, there's a lot of problems with the Democrats as far as things that they don't, because you got people that are far left and they want, all kind of issues that conservatives don't like, and even some of the Democrats. And, in certain districts or areas, or territory, they might be a little bit more liberal than others, and some of them are conservative. So it's kind of a mixed bag. The Republicans, hey, they're all in lockstep. They all lockstep, regardless. They go straight down to whatever the president says. Most of them do exactly the way they think. They vote the way they want to vote. So I don't know. I'm kind of upset because the fact is that you got these people that he's putting in office is going to demolish a lot of the accomplishments that these people have been fighting for all these years. Education, the Justice Department, the Civil Rights Department. And I think what it is that they just have not been, when they're in office, they have not been aggressive, assertive enough. They sort of kind of like do their job and things get done, but they're not out there telling the story. When President Biden passed that infrastructure bill, they should have had 100 people, 1,000 people out there talking about that infrastructure bill and what it's going to do. So, I don't know. I mean, what do I care? I mean, I care because what I'm saying is that it's going to affect everything that the government does, affect people. You put these stupid people that he got nominated in office. How are you going to sit up here and have a TV personality be in charge of Medicare and Medicaid?
Do you think that's going to fly?
I have no idea.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We don't know if it's going to fly or not. He can nominate whoever we want, but is it going to fly?
He ran for senator, so I guess he can.
Well, we don't.
You remember I was saying I stay in my own lane. These people need to stay in their own damn lane. They are not qualified, bro.
Well, when have they really cared about anybody being qualified? What else do Republicans care about anybody being qualified? When have they cared about anybody being qualified? They got a president who ain't qualified. And I want to throw something here. I'll throw a little wrench into the works here and everything. Last night while I was finishing up on doing what I was doing, I happened to go to YouTube again and look at it, and because I'm getting my nerve back up so I can go out there and look at that stuff without getting pissed. And they had this guy and stuff. I forget his name, but he got a little podcast show and everything out there. And he was dogging out Tim Scott and Byron Donald. Man, he was dogging them out. And he kept saying, well, I don't mean to do this, but they they were carrying the water, they were carrying the load and stuff all that time. And, since the man got elected, he he ain't looked that way. They put these unqualified folks in positions and stuff, and them two boys is sitting out there and everything. He ain't giving them nothing. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, but I had to throw that out just so I don't want to keep throwing salt in the wounds for Tim Scott and Byron Donald. But oh man,
Yeah, it's sad, ain't it?
it's sad, man. They've been carrying his load, man. They get out there, I mean, beating the bushes, and then Byron Donald, he really been carrying the load. and they, he didn't even gave them a he didn't even look at him. He didn't
Not
even
even a
invite them
conversation, bro.
he didn't even invite them to Mar-a-Lago to come down there.
I don't want them Negroes at my place.
Oh.
I don't want them Negroes at my place.
They ought to be looking at themselves like fools. But you know what? I don't even believe they even care. They say, well, okay. Yowza. Whatever you want us to do, he said, well, I got a job over here mopping the floor. You can take that over here. You can give me my bucket and a mop. They can
It's
take
your
care.
black job.
They can clean up. They can them black jobs.
It's your black job, bro.
Finish our dinner. Oh man.
Well, he hasn't gotten anybody in HUD yet.
Well, Ted, I don't know, man. I think he just throwing some people's name out there. People who done gave him something or he owes something to, he just throwing their name out there. He don't care if they qualify them out. They throw him in the job.
That's the reason why you can't take. He's a clown. You can't take that man serious about this country, and he has made this country a joke.
Yeah.
When you don't take people that government is a serious professional career choice. People spend their whole life learning the ins and outs of government. The little bit I know is minute compared to some of what these people know. These people they work day and night serving the country. This is their life, and he's treating it as a joke. And the American people don't even understand it and don't get it, how complicated this thing is to keep everything moving. American people just don't realize this ain't the government, man, they keep this thing moving. They're helping people, sending money out of certain places, having things done and get done, things that they have to watch over and make sure that it don't get attacked and all of that. It's crazy. In that hurricane, bro, FEMA was on day one, they was out there ready to help people. Day one. The VP was out there. Day one. But yet and still, they listened to these traitors over there in Fox News telling lies, and these people on radio, conservative radio, who are these people that live in this country? Half of these people, man, they don't read a book. They don't read newspapers. They don't keep up. They don't know what's going on, bro. Only thing they know about is what they hear on TV. They listen to Fox all day long, and Fox News is just telling them lies, lies, lies. We're gonna
Well,
take your, we're gonna come in there and we're gonna take your house from you.
well,
It's crazy,
it's
man. It's
it's
getting to be a joke now. It really is. It's really getting to be a joke.
well, uh, it is a known fact and stuff, Ted, that that this country and stuff is still racist, and no matter what's going on, they're and I truly believe that if there was a white person and stuff and a man who the party had chosen and stuff to be the president, they probably would have been in their job right now. And it's sad that there's people out there who are so racist and stuff that they don't care. I don't believe that they don't care. They had to find somebody else who was of their color to be there in their White House, and they didn't care who it was. It could have been a monkey if he was white, and they'd have put him in office. And that's a sad state of affair. But as you're hearing our folks say, and I listen to some of these black folks out there now who are who were out there fighting on the front line and everything. They said, "Well, we're going to have to save this country again. They're going to have to
Well,
save the
I
country."
was just watching and reading and looking at what these black women are saying. A lot of them is galvanizing and saying, "Hey, we done." A lot of the black women saying they're done, bro.
Nah, they gonna come back. They're not gonna let this stuff go. They got too much invested. They're not, and but I understand how they feel, but they're not going to do that. I don't believe that they're going to do that. I don't believe that the black women will are just going to give up. They're not going to do that. Once they get over this initial shock of what's going on and the reality to hit them, they're going to wake up and they're going to dig their feet into the ground and stuff and everything and figure out how they're going to get this daggone country back on the right track. They're going to do it. We've been known to clean up the mess, Ted. You know that. We clean up mess. We clean up the mess. And we're going to clean this mess up. That's what's going
Well,
to happen.
the lessons. Are people gonna learn from their mistakes, bro? That's the only thing. You can clean up the mess, but then you know what they say? History repeats itself. Where's the learning of the lessons?
Oh, well,
Is racism that deep?
mm-hmm. Yep. We're going to do it because I'm sitting right there with them. We're going to do it. We're going to clean this mess up. Some kind of way, we're going to find us a way through. Uh, Yesterday morning, my wife and I were sitting having coffee, and her thing has changed altogether. And she says, "Hey, we're going to get this stuff done, and we're going to clean this place up and get back on the right track again." She said it, and I didn't believe she was ready to say it, but she did. She's a black woman. She said, "Well, we're gonna have to sit down here and fight some more." But I'm tired, she said. "I'm tired of fighting that one. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. Every day I'm tired of fighting." But she's still gonna, I know she's gonna stand up and keep on fighting. We got we're fighting and stuff, Ted, for those folks and stuff who are coming up behind us, our children and our grandchildren and stuff who are out there and stuff who we want to leave something better and stuff for. That's who we're fighting for. At least that's who I am. I see them coming up and I'm looking at them and saying, "My God, we got to do something to save this thing." So that's my motivation.
So I
That's
don't know
what's
what they can
motivating it.
do, but I guess I'm in too because, we both got grandkids and all of that, and maybe later down the road we might even have great grandkids.
Well, I got a
So
couple I got a couple greats.
okay, well there you go.
I got a couple of greats. I got two or three, well, two, and getting ready to get a third great. So, man, and they are innocent as all get out, and they're young, and
Let
I
me
think.
switch gears, bro.
Go ahead.
You ever heard of
Oh,
Bill?
you were going to tell me about Spain.
I
What
am. I'm gonna
happened?
get to that. We
Oh,
can talk about
okay.
that later. But this right here is breaking news. Well, it might not be breaking news to a lot of people that keep up with business, and it might not be breaking news to people that don't care about business. But this affected hundreds of thousands of businesses and individuals. There's a man named Bill, I'm gonna pronounce it Fong, Hwang. You ever heard of him?
Mm-mm.
This man was in control of $160 billion. The FBI caught him because he did security frauds, wire frauds, racketeering conspiracy, and market manipulation. Now, I think that market manipulation is what got him. Born in the United States, but he's from the Philippines or somewhere along those lines. I don't want to incorrect it. I should have wrote down where he's from, his family's from, but he's a flat out businessman when he first started. His father was a pastor and very religious guy. And he gave something like $600 million to charity from 2004 to on up to now. For the last 20 years, he's been giving millions of dollars away. During that time, and that company grew. The name of the company, I'm gonna see if I can pronounce it correctly, Archelicals Capital. And he tied up 40 banks, and his business grew. Portfolio grew from 10 billion to 160 billion dollars, and he got convicted in July. Sentenced today. I haven't heard what his sentence is, but they are recommending 21 years. But what he did was he did what you call margin call, and he was playing the game with $20 billion, and he couldn't cover it, and he lost $20 billion in one day. That's when they caught him because he couldn't cover it. Because he had other banks that was involved in that margin call. So now you say, well, so what? I mean, all these white collar people doing this kind of stuff. Well, it's happening more and more and more. It's going to happen more in the Bitcoins, cryptocurrency. These people are messing with people's life savings. And who bails them out, Ed? The government
The government.
and the taxpayer. Because these people gonna want their money back. They're gonna want to say, we had his portfolio had grew to $160 billion. Now here's the thing: They saying, if you believe this man at one time he was worth almost $25 billion. They saying all he got now is something like $550 million.
So you were saying that he's probably another Bernie Madoff.
Well, he's worse than Bernie. Well, no, you can't get no worse than
No,
Bernie
it can't
Madoff.
get no worse than Bernie now.
But what I'm saying is that he had been scheming and doing all kinds of things. When they say wire fraud, I'm almost positive that he probably has money placed all over the world that he's shipped to, money that he's taken out. So the thing, this is my point of bringing him up, is that white collar crime, what they call white collar crime,
Yep.
is so devastating, but they give them a way out.
Yep.
Because what happens? These people that lose all this money,
They want their money back.
yeah.
And they will do anything to get their money back.
So that's the
Even
thing.
even to tell law enforcement and stuff, do not do anything with him. Let's make a deal so we can get our money back. They will make a deal with him. Now, why they didn't make a deal with Bernie Madoff, I don't know. But lately and stuff, you were talking about another gentleman and stuff, what the shows ago and everything, and he had stole what $4 or $5 billion and stuff and everything, and they only recovered $2 billion. And remember, I talked about it, and we said, "Hey,
Him and his wife.
that money hid away." Yeah, he got that money hid away. So they do that, and they know it. These criminals and stuff know it, that when they get so much money out there and they take so much money that if they get caught, they're gonna do the time because it's paying. It's gonna pay for them because they're gonna sit down there in this little room with the light on their face, and they're gonna sit there and wait until these people decide to make a deal with them. And Ted, and a lot of times that deal and stuff that they're doing and stuff with them is that they allow them to keep whatever it is that they can't get from them, and they're asking them, how did they do this, so they can go back and clean up their systems and stuff and everything, so no one else can go and do the same thing he did or she did, stealing money. But they want to know how they got in that back door and stole that money. But I'm pretty sure, Ted, that he probably had a few other margin calls that he did not cover either. But somebody just said, "Hey, you're gonna have to give me my money." And
You're exactly right. And
yeah,
you know it.
yeah. Some other folks and stuff probably said, "What? It was only $1 billion," and he said, "Well, I can cover it up and everything, and he can give me a couple of days or a month or two, and I can put that money back in your hands." And he done. He put the money back in their hands. But I guess this time, somebody just said, "Hey, where my money right now?" But that's how these criminals get away with this stuff, Ted. Especially the white collar crime. That's how they get away.
Well,
And
I just find it really painful. And I'm not justifying or trying to cover for these small criminals, that's running around doing dirty stuff, stealing credit cards and, trying to do this and that.
mhm,
And these people's getting 15, 20, 30 years
mhm.
for petty
They,
stuff.
right.
Petty stuff.
They have
We're
nothing
talking
to
billions.
bargain. They
We're
have
even
nothing to
talking
bargain
millions.
with. They're at the mercy of the justice system because they have nothing to bargain with. They have nothing, and the little money that they have gotten and stuff, they probably spend it, and they probably broke. So they don't have nothing to bargain with. You don't have nothing to bargain with, and with the justice system, too bad. almost like our criminal up there in the White House. He had enough money to bargain with these folks. He kept that stuff going and going and going and stuff and everything, and kept keeping it, doing this, doing that, and then got the Supreme Court to give him a free ticket to rob, and they gave it to him.
Do you know
Oh,
that man have charged and took over $600 million from the government while he was in office? $600 million.
probably, probably more than that. That's probably what they caught him, because his children and stuff, they all dip their hand in there in the cookie jar and pull out a few dollars and stuff too. His son-in-law dipped his hand in the cookie jar and pulled him out $1 billion or two. But that's the way it is out there. Ted, what about Spain, man? I'm interested in Spain. I want to know what you found out about
Well,
Spain.
let's,
That country that don't
Spain
even
has got a lot of history, bro. Spain has got a lot of history because it was just the country that was sitting there, but it was a lot of people that went there to conquer Spain.
right.
And you start off with the Dutch. We're
Okay.
talking centuries ago. Then
Hmm.
the Romans. So now you got black people that was there because like you said, the continent of Africa is right next to them,
They came from Africa, and they invaded them places and stuff
and
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 everything.
and they pretty much ran a lot of the Africans out of there. They still got almost 2 million black folks that's there.
Yeah, and they intermingling with the population. So over the years and stuff, that's why those folks over there, they turned a little dark. They're brown skin. So, but what makes them a country that they can live with what, $2 trillion and stuff in GDP? You said.
Right. Now here's the thing: what they do is that a lot of their businesses is in Europe because in the early late 70s, 90s, they became a constitution of the European group. And when they did that deal and have a constitution, they're a parliamentarian country with a constitution. And a lot of the Germans, they do a lot of business with the Germans. So now, the one thing that I'm finding out is that the Germans got their hands in a lot of stuff, bro.
A lot, a lot of stuff, buddy.
They
Yeah,
everywhere.
their people and stuff have immigrated into a lot of those countries and stuff that are surrounding Germany. And by them going into those countries and stuff and everything that's surrounding Germany, they become a big influence. Didn't we talk about what, Switzerland or
Yeah,
somebody that
Switzerland.
that was
Yeah,
involved with that also, where
yeah.
they had a lot of Germans
Large,
and stuff?
large percentage of people in German.
Hmm.
Um, of course, you have European people there. Besides the Germans, you got other people that's there. And but uh, here's the thing with the Spaniards. There was a Spanish War in
Hmm.
America.
Right.
Well, the Spain went over there and they was trying to. Their main goal to try to go over there was to get the gold and silver in America. That was their main goal. It wasn't to try to colonize or anything like that. But while they were there, they had populated or took over Texas, Mexico,
Right.
places like that. So so they were in California. And so now what you're saying that there was a lot of intermingling because they had tons and tons of soldiers. They shipped tons and tons of soldiers over there. And that's the reason why a lot of people now the people that was in Mexico were mostly Aztec Indians, and
Hmm.
you remember we used to read in our history books. We had all these different Indian natives and what have you. Well,
Absolutely.
Spaniard
They
took over
they
there, And then what was the main religion of the Spaniards? What is the main religion?
Catholic.
Thank you. And what's the main religion of the Hispanic population?
Catholic.
There you go. So this right here is very, it's a lot of intermingling here that's
Absolutely.
going on.
Yeah.
And
And so if you don't know the history, you don't know what's going on. If you don't know
right,
the history of what happened, you don't know why these things and stuff are happening. And a lot of times and stuff, Ted, we as a United States make some bad decisions because we don't understand the history of what's going on and why people are doing what they're doing in other countries.
and here's
Uh,
the thing. Do you think that the Spaniards, I'm just saying, I don't know. Because see, we don't get to all the intel and all of that kind of stuff. The Spaniards are not dealing with Mexico right now.
they probably are, and you have to, and you have to look at Portugal and Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they all intertwined there. Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is that it's so much that we don't know of all the intel, all the business deals that's going on, because I find it mighty strange, bro, that all of a sudden now, for the last 30, 40 years, they've been doing a lot of building of manufacturing companies over there.
In Spain.
No, over in Mexico.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, that was planned by these big companies.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the type of people that they have there. You know, we know that there's a lot of what they call Mexicans,
Hmm.
but a lot of those Mexicans are mixed with Indians
Right.
as well. And so you have Indians, they're, I guess they have a class system there in Mexico. They have to have a class system because, if you ever looked at their situation, as far as, we usually say, like black and brown people, a lot of
Hmm.
Mexicans are brown people.
Hmm.
And the reason why is because they mixed with those Indians. Because what did the Trail of Tears, man, killed over 100 million people. And a lot of those people went to Mexico. They went through California. They
Hmm.
went to Mexico.
Well, you know why they got a lot of manufacturing and stuff moved over there they because of these open borders that they had, that free trade, where they can bring stuff back and forth across our borders and stuff and everything, tariff free. And that's why a lot of those, especially those car companies and stuff, move their manufacturing over there. A lot of their manufacturing over there in Mexico, because they can bring their stuff back and forth across the border and stuff, and that without having to pay any tariffs and stuff for it.
Well,
Because
when
if you go down to right there, what's the name of that town there in Texas and stuff? Man, I can't think of the name of that town and stuff, but a lot of these when I've been I go on YouTube and I see these truckers and stuff, and a lot of them drive down to Mexico, down to Texas and stuff, right? And they said there is a huge trade and stuff coming across those borders and stuff, and these truckers and stuff can go down there and get loads and stuff down there to go any place in this daggone country and stuff. And because they have huge areas and stuff where they park these trailers and stuff at, they bring them across the border, they park these trailers and stuff, and these companies come down there and move these trailers and stuff to all parts of the United States.
yeah, I just saw a documentary on that. But the point is what I'm making. The Vatican, the Vatican. See, when you had those Romans, they tried to conquer Spain, and when the Spaniards got themselves together and got their their politics together, and they got the right people in office who they wanted, and then they tried to go over and take a lot of the gold and silver from the United States. And then they tried to take some, they didn't want to colonize America, but they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to rule, and they wanted the gold and silver. And by so many of them, not only did they have soldiers over there, but they brought a lot of the other people that came over there, and a lot of them were Catholic people, and their thing is spread the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
So they went over there and treated those Indians. If you ever look at the history of Mexico, they have a number of priests that go there in Mexico. They got all
Mm-hmm.
kind of priests over there, and a lot of them are Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that? See, I'm just speculating. I believe that the Vatican is running, to a certain degree, Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
because see, they got to see the Vatican is worth trillions of dollars. They got their own city, their own country, so they got to put that money somewhere. So their money is going in different places across this country, across the world. So that's the thing. But here's the thing, though, bro. Because they are very, very strict in keeping a low integration thing going,
Mm-hmm.
they predict right now they're 46 million strong. They say by the year 2030, their population will go down to 33 million people.
They going to
People
where
are
now?
leaving 33 million, from 46 to 33 million. They can't sustain, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They can't sustain because their industry is very, it's very, very little oil that they can sell and trade with. They got deals with Germany as far as different cars that they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a big farm community, so their shipping is traditional sector and significant economic importance, but they don't, their money, they make 5% of their money come from for their GDP is from tourism. So
That
when you
much?
look at their economics, they are not a very strong economic country. As far as producing anything, as far as really putting stuff out there. So that country is really shedding its population. A lot of these people are leaving because they can't sustain. So anyway, and the reason why I started talking about it, because it's interesting, because when 79% of the people live in the urban areas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
So
pretty nice size piece of land that they have there, but
that's what I was
they
going to
got all
ask
their.
you. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's what I was going to ask you about the farming and stuff. But since they only most of their folks and stuff, or majority of their folks and stuff live in the urban areas and stuff. What are they raising and stuff? What are they're growing and stuff in their country?
It's not a lot, they big wine company, they got wine stuff and like that. But as far as they import a lot of their goods, as far as other countries and stuff like that. But like I said, I think the Spaniards, because they are a majority white population, Caucasian, that they got the connection with the Germans and with Europe. So I'm like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's all connected, and a lot of times, the reason why I'm looking at that, when you look at that, and you wonder, a lot of us sit here and we thinking that, oh, prejudice or civil rights and all of that kind of stuff. These people, man, they way ahead of us. We
They've
fighting
been
for.
they've been they have been civilized a lot longer than what we have. Being enslaved here in the United States and everything has really uh, put a huge damper on us, and we haven't. A lot of our population, Ted, has not gotten out of that mentality, and we need to try to get a lot more of our members, our people and stuff, out of that mentality of being slaves, where they want to just don't want to do anything, that they want to just stay where they at, and they don't want to move out, and they keep those old ideas and stuff about what's going on. And but they've also lost a lot of those ideas and stuff, because we I sat here today, and I had a couple of representatives from AT&T came to my house, and they sat down and we were talking and stuff about what AT&T investment and stuff that they have made in our community. But we got into some personal stuff and everything, and they were telling me about how AT&T and stuff got them and how they got involved with AT&T. And one of the people and stuff there was this lady, and she was black. And I was trying to tell her and stuff and everything that, baby girl, you're not going to get rich working for AT&T. So she said, well, I got to keep working for them. I got to keep working for them because that's the only way I can make any money. If you have an attitude that the only way that you can make any money is you have to work for this company until they they fire you or they change ownerships or whatever,
Lay you
if
off.
that happens, you lost. You lost. And I was trying to say, you need to start building something and everything, because you can't depend upon these people and stuff and everything to give you a job. If you still sitting there depending upon them to give you a job, like you just said, if something happens, if you get laid off, or if AT&T decides, well, are we gonna cut your salary? We're gonna get rid of a huge workforce and everything because some other company and stuff has bought us out, and that could happen with all these buyouts going on, and then with this old boy sitting there in the White House and stuff. He's not going to resist anybody buying out another big company or whatever. And their benefit is only for them and their shareholders. So that's that mentality that I'm trying to say about that. We just got to stay and work for somebody else. When if and I'm pretty sure that a lot of those folks there in Spain and stuff, they have their own thing going on. They're not dependent upon someone giving them a job. And we have to get that idea out of our head that we have to have a job and everything to survive.
Well, that's been programmed to us, bro. I was one of those people. My mother used to always say, "Get an education and get you a good job."
Yeah, all right, there
That's
you
the
go.
way we've been programmed, bro. A
But
lot of us.
but my dad always said, "You ain't not gonna ever get rich, boy, working for the demand. You're not gonna get rich. You got to get your own stuff." So he also said that too. Yeah, you need to go get your education, and you're gonna be okay. But he also told us and stuff that you're not going to get rich working for him. If you plan on getting rich working for the man, you can forget it, because you're not. Unless you, there are some people who have gotten rich because they take their money and they invest it, just like you were talking about in them stocks and the 401ks and stuff.
Well,
Thing, dumping
Ed,
their money in there.
right now we're in a paradigm shift now, bro. Because all over the world now, one of the major things that was backing our money was gold. And now we've been out the gold market for 50 years or more.
Or longer than that.
And think about this. If you are all of a sudden now we're just based on financing. And
Hmm.
that's the reason why a lot of these companies in the 90s, they started opening up all these stock markets all over the world so that they can play the game too, based on IPOs. You got a company, why don't you come on and get on the stock market, and you can get people to invest in your company and blah 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 blah, and you know how that works. And so now you got all these countries that's involved in that, but a lot of people saying, hey, we getting ripped off because a lot of these people are aware of how the game is played, and they, what they call it, uh, dump and stump, or what, I forget the name out of the slang they use, pump and dump,
Hmm.
and then they can make uh, $20,000 a day,
Hmm.
by pumping and dumping, and so millions of dollars are being taken out of them as soon as people put money in. Because if you got a retirement, that's how a lot of these major companies do. They set up these retirement accounts, and people got a bunch of money in there, and they constantly putting money into these accounts.
Hmm.
And so these people are playing the market with these
Absolutely.
people's money.
And if you don't, and if you keep putting your money into that, and that baby and that stock goes bust and everything, or you lose half the value and stuff, a lot of folks who are doing that can't afford to lose half that value. So,
When
and
I
you're
when
not,
I
and
left
you're not
when
one
I
of the
left the
biggies.
Bank of America, when I
You're not
left
one
the
of the
Bank of
biggies.
America, and my retirement and my 401k, I got my money out, and in '08, we know what happened.
Oh man.
I left in '07. And now here's the deal though, bro. That stock went from $55 a share to $3.
Right. But if you had kept that share and stuff, now it'd been a heck worth a heck of a lot more
Oh,
than
it's
that
back
now.
where it was. It's almost back where it was. But
You're right.
but
If
that's
you
not
had
the
kept it.
issue. The point is that one of my coworkers had hundreds of thousands, because she had been there way longer than I've been there, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she was just almost suicidal, bro.
Right. There were, hey man, in 2008, man, there were a whole lot of folks who were suicidal. They lost a lot of money and stuff in that. And that's my thing and stuff, Ted, is that I'm not concerned with a lot of money. I'd like to own something. And as long as you can own something and everything, and you got some value and stuff there. And but everybody can't buy and own land or property or whatever. But those things and stuff have keeps their value and stuff no matter what. Because I don't care if the stock market goes broke, if you can still own your own piece of land or your own property, uh, you're gonna you're gonna be okay. But
So
then, but then a lot of other people and stuff doing this 2008 strike and everything own a lot of property, and because they still owe mortgages and stuff on them, they lost them.
lost them,
They
lost them.
lost them.
I knew a guy that owned 5 pieces of property during that time.
They lost them because
Yeah,
they owed a mortgage on them. And people came and foreclosed on them and took it away. That's how
that
I
was
got.
a
Yeah, yeah.
you know
I got a
in the
piece of property to doing that 2008 thing.
it was a it was a big thing going. Like, you had a lot of people own 5, 6, 10 homes, bro, back in the
Right.
'80s and
And
'90s,
they
and
had put their life savings into it because they were looking
and a
for
lot of them
a regular
lost.
income. Yeah.
A lot of them lost, bro.
A
A
lot of them
lot of them
lost.
lost.
A lot of them lost. They did
But
lose it.
the game though is what I said. That's why I said we're going through a paradigm shift with all of this, all these companies now. These financial people, are getting into this Bitcoin stuff.
Ooh-wee.
What's backing it? I've been trying to figure out who is taking care of the money. Okay, if I give you $10,000 and I want to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin,
You
where's that money going, Ed?
hold it, man. A Bitcoin is worth 50-some thousand dollars.
I understand that.
One
That's not
Bitcoin.
basically talking.
So you
I'm
only
just
going to
saying.
buy what, a fifth of that Bitcoin for $10,000.
I'm just saying. Where is the money going, and who's responsible for that money? Huh? I give you $1
it's the
million,
it's
and
the
I want
good
to buy.
faith. It's the good faith and trust that you have in Bitcoin. That's what's holding up the dollar.
I'm still trying to figure out where is my money going, bro. I'm gonna give you
It
$10,000
is
to buy me some
it's it's
Bitcoin.
it's it's out there in well, la la land. It's out there, and it all depends on what somebody. If you want to recoup it back, it all depends on what somebody wants to pay for it. That's why you find Bitcoins going up and down. It is very volatile.
Well, there's
You,
one right now. They're talking about one Bitcoin right pretty soon gonna be worth $1 million a coin now.
right, and if you can get somebody to buy for that $1 million, you might want to get out because tomorrow that something might drop down to $50. It all depends on what people think it's worth.
Well, it's got you got people in there that got 20, 25 Bitcoins,
Hey, they got
and they
it right.
own
And
all of them.
today they got a lot of money, but tomorrow they might not.
I'm
It's a
just trying to figure out where in
it
the
is a
world is the
very
money
very
going, Ed.
it's a very
I
volatile
gotta write
industry.
somebody a check, bro.
You
Where my
do.
money going?
Hey, it's
These
out
people
there.
can't tell you.
All I can tell you, Ted, is out there. It's out there.
They can't tell you.
It's out there a vast open space, a black hole. That's where it's at.
They can't tell you, bro. They can't tell you. That's the reason why a lot of people, a lot of people before President Obama closed that thing down, they used to have their money in Switzerland.
Right. A lot of countries. Ireland was a biggie and stuff and everything for that money. They hid their money in Ireland, but Ireland was very, very lucrative there. Matter of fact, Apple had a lot of their money sitting over there in Ireland because the old boy who was the CEO and stuff of Apple and stuff is from Ireland. So he sent his money over there. But anyway, last final word, Ted. We at the end here, brother.
All I gotta say is try to keep up, because we're in a paradigm shift now, bro. We are definitely in a paradigm shift when it comes to money. So I don't know where we're going, where the world is going with this money thing. And then we talked about the BRICS, and they talking about they gonna control the money because all they're trying to do is weaken the dollar anyway. A lot of these countries. So we'll see.
We and I guess you were right and stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. After starting January 1 of 2025, man, a lot of things, Ted, are going to change. And I don't know if a lot of us and stuff are ready for it, especially the older folks. They are changing our health insurance over, man, and it is a absolute mess out there and stuff with this health insurance. So tomorrow I'm gonna give a few words and ideas about what's going on in this health industry and stuff and everything that we need to be worried about. I know my wife is. She's very, very upset about it and everything, but what's going on with this health industry. And it's man, it's turned out to be a real mess. I mean, an absolute mess. And if these older folks and stuff and everything don't pick the right health insurance coverage and stuff and everything, man, they're gonna be in trouble. And then they're changing this whole daggone thing, man. Like, oh man, uh, Medicare prescription drug stuff and everything. It started out last year. They were looking to be real, real good, but man, they have really jacked that thing around and stuff now for this year because the drug companies and stuff and everything decided that they're not going to lose that money. So they're changing how people buy prescription drugs. So if you're getting your drugs out there from the drugstore or whatever, you better start looking at what's going on, because it's a it's going to be a mess, and a lot of people are not going to be able to navigate to this daggone system. That they're going to be out a lot of money just to keep their prescription drugs. So anyway, I'll talk about that tomorrow.
I just want to bring this one little thing up. I finally found
Go ahead.
They export France 65.2 billion, export Germany 39.2 billion, Portugal 34.9, Italy 32.1, United Kingdom 22.6. These are all $1 billion exports that Spain does. And where are those countries located? I don't see United States here nowhere, bro.
They're in the European Union,
That's what I'm saying.
and they and Spain is exporting to them, to those countries. What are they exporting?
You mean importing?
Oh, importing. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You said exporting.
I mean, the point is they import billions of dollars too. Crude petroleum 42, petroleum 24, cars 18.2, packaged medicaments 13.2, motor vehicles. Now, not one time are they saying anything about agriculture. Where they getting their food from, bro?
Right. That's what I've just asked you. What was going on with what they're farming?
Nothing on here.
They gotta eat. They gotta eat something. Unless they got farms and stuff out there that they have cows and stuff, and they're producing their own milk, and they got these mom and pop gardens and stuff running around there raising all their vegetables or whatever. I and I I'm pretty sure that they have these market areas and stuff where people come in from outside of the towns and everything, and they're bringing their produce and stuff and selling this stuff into these marketplaces. From what I've been seeing on television,
I like to think that they're probably getting a lot of their imports too from Africa. They're just not
they
putting it
could,
in there,
they could
because Africa is very plentiful with vegetables and fruits.
absolutely, and it's not a big, it's not a big drive across the Mediterranean Sea.
Right. So anyway,
Okay,
it's amazing.
thanks, people. See you tomorrow.